Like, why is this happening? A lot of emotional turmoil that can be a little bit overwhelming. What is my goal? What is my purpose? The hardest part of it is getting started. A silver lining mentality. Do that to like keep you calm, keep you centered. Hello everyone, assalamu alaikum, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about motivation and what we can do, or what I do when I lose motivation. Kind of giving some tips or tricks for things that you can do if you lose your motivation in your schoolwork, in your work, like in your career, if you lose motivation in exercising, whatever. I feel like this can apply to a lot of different areas of life. I'm just going to kind of talk about different ways that I help myself keep my motivation up, or kind of like work through a lack of motivation. So I asked some of you guys on Instagram what your input was, like how you deal with, losing motivation in school or work. So make sure that you follow me on Instagram, because I often do ask prior to filming my videos and what you guys' opinion is on the topic that I'm doing, because I like to share your opinions in my videos. So make sure you follow me on Instagram so that you can participate if you want. Yeah, just kind of keeping up to date with my day-to-day. Instagram is the place to be, and then YouTube is usually more, my sit down chit chat kind of videos with the occasional vlog thrown in. So this week I asked you guys what you thought, and I'm going to be incorporating the ideas or the ways that you guys stay motivated into this video, along with my own ways, like my own ideas, the things that I do when I lose motivation. Before I start getting into like the advice that I have for ways to stay motivated, I kind of want to talk a little bit about like why I get demotivated. It might be different for other people. When you're talking about, okay, how do I fix this situation? It's really important to think about the why, like why is this happening? So for me, I often feel demotivated, like if I am, in school, for example, or I have a job, and if I feel like a lot of emotional turmoil, then that can make me feel less motivated in my like day-to-day work. So for example, I was long distance with my husband in the past, and I am currently again long distance. So after 3 months of not seeing each other, it really gets to a point where you start to really miss the other person, and that can kind of translate over into a lack of motivation in like school or work, even when your school or work might be something that you're actually passionate about. Like that weight on your heart can kind of influence your motivation for day to day. So it's like, that's one reason that I get demotivated. Another reason that I might get demotivated is, for example, if part of my job or part of my schoolwork is like a prerequisite for something I want to do in the future. So like, for example, in school and college, a lot of the time you have to take certain classes because you have to take it to get the degree, but the actual career path that you're working towards isn't really going to involve that thing very much. Sometimes when you're looking at a prerequisite for something that you want to do in the future, it can be very easy to be unmotivated about the thing that you just have to do in order to get to the point that you're trying to get to in life. I'm in grad school right now, and I'm taking a whole bunch of classes, some of which I feel like really apply to my clinical experiences, and others I feel like apply less, and the ones that apply less I have less motivation for. So another reason I might feel unmotivated is if what I'm doing is really overwhelming for me. So if I'm taking like 20 credits and then also working, or if I'm, in grad school, we're taking a whole host of classes and then we also have clients, that can be a little bit overwhelming. So when I'm overwhelmed, the motivation kind of goes down. You want to have like good work-life balance and all that, and it can be a little bit hard to do that when there's just certain things you have to do before you can like start a career, or before you can whatever. Obviously there are ways that we can give ourselves more of a balance, but it's easy to start feeling unmotivated when you are in a really busy stage of your life and there's nothing that you can really do about it at that time. For me, I would say those are like the 3 main reasons why I get unmotivated when it comes to like school and work and things like that. I have my cat on my lap. I don't know if you can see, but she's being adorable. Little baby, I love you. The first way that I try to kind of get my motivation to come back is through always remembering my Islamic intention. So I think that that's a huge part of your motivation and why you do things, is your why. Like, why am I doing this thing right now? What is my goal? What is my purpose? And a huge thing for me, and for a lot of you guys as well, is our religion and our beliefs. So thinking about what is the reason that we're doing this from a religious standpoint. I've made a whole video about having a sincere intention Islamically, and you can have a sincere intention for the majority of things that you do. So going to school, why are you going to school? Oh, if you're going to school so you can work in the future, provide for your future family, like donate money to poor Muslims, etc. Those are all religiously rewardable reasons to be doing something. And if that's your motivation, if that's one of the motivators behind why you're pursuing a degree, for example, that's amazing. And that's something that when you do feel unmotivated, is good to kind of circle back to and think about to kind of bring the motivation back. Reminding ourselves, okay, this is why I'm working so hard right now. This is why I have to get these things done. Kind of looking at the bigger picture. The second way to motivate yourself when you're not feeling motivated is sometimes you just kind of have to make yourself do something. And one of you guys on Instagram said, which relates heavily to this point, the hardest part of it is getting started. Once you're in, it's not as bad. So that kind of ties into my point about like, sometimes you just have to make yourself do it. Like you're not feeling motivated, but you just have to do it. And like she was saying, once you get into doing it, it won't be as bad as what you kind of imagined in your mind. Sometimes we feel unmotivated to do something because we find it particularly difficult or we know it's going to take us a really long time. But once you kind of jump in, once you kind of just make the leap and start doing what you need to do, sometimes it won't be as bad as you kind of originally thought it would be. So sometimes the honest solution is just make yourself do it. You have no other option. It needs to get done. So whether or not you feel motivated, you just have to do it. And it'll oftentimes not be as bad as you think, or, you know, once you get started, you're already partway done, and then before you know it, you're done and you can move on to other things. So that's another way to kind of just deal with feelings of, I don't want to do this, I'm not motivated to do this. The next thing that I would suggest for building motivation or for finding motivation in whatever you're doing is to make menial tasks more bearable. So sometimes like a part of our work or a part of our life is just doing things that we don't have motivation to do because they're boring or because it's just busy work. We just have to do it, but it's not intellectually engaging. It's not, you know, making the world a better place. It's just something that you have to get done. Like sometimes, especially when those things don't require a lot of brain power, we can kind of do other things to make those tasks more bearable. So I would say if you're ever feeling motivated for that reason, because this thing is just a boring thing, what you can do is do something at the same time that makes what you're doing more meaningful or makes what you're doing more enjoyable. So for example, let's say you're like making flashcards for like a Spanish language exam, right? That can be a really like, doesn't require a lot of brain power kind of task. It's just, you're just writing the word and the definition, right? So you can watch a show at the same time or listen to a podcast, do something that is more intellectually stimulating to kind of make that task less boring. Or another thing you can do, when I was saying make it more meaningful, is you could recite dhikr. You could do something that's religiously rewardable at the same time as getting just the work that you need to get done. So that's another way that I would suggest is like making it meaningful, making it more enjoyable, doing something that kind of makes the task more bearable can lift your motivation. Another thing I would suggest to do is having like a silver lining mentality. So what does that mean? A silver lining mentality is, okay, what you're doing right now might be really difficult. It might be something that you don't want to do, but what's the silver lining? What are you getting out of it? Just really focusing on, okay, this may suck right now and it might be boring or it might be really hard, but how is it going to improve me as a person? How is it going to, you know, change my life in some way? And kind of thinking about the underlying silver lining. I can give an example in my own life. Like I am in grad school, like I said, studying speech pathology. I now have some clients. Working with clients is amazing. It's such a huge learning experience, but it's really hard. Like it's something that I've never done before. Working with clients in that capacity. It's engaging, it's really challenging for me, and they're like, how challenging it is can be a reason for me to feel less motivated to do it, or like I just feel like, oh, this is so hard, like I'm not good at this right now, so it kind of makes me feel a little less motivated to get it done. But kind of focusing on, okay, what is the silver lining? Like, how is this going to improve me as like a speech pathologist or a clinician? And it's going to improve me by putting me in a challenging situation is going to force me to learn how to deal with challenging situations. So, I mean, that's kind of the whole point of having practicums. You're being put in a situation you haven't been put in before with guidance, and you're expected to become a better clinician from that. And that's exactly what I have to focus on when I'm finding a certain like therapeutic technique or whatever to be particularly hard, is I have to focus on, okay, what is the bigger picture here? Like, is it going to make me a better clinician? Yeah, probably. If I encounter a similar situation in the future, will I be more prepared? Yeah, probably. So yes, right now, maybe this is really hard for me because it's not something I've done before, but I have to keep in mind and not let that kind of get the best of me and make me feel like, ugh, I'm bad at this. Like, why am I even trying? To get that mentality out of my head and think more about, what is this doing for me long term? And then my last tip that I wrote, finding time for self-care. So this can be really tough, especially if your reason for feeling unmotivated is that whatever work or school or whatever responsibility you have that you don't feel motivated to do is overwhelming, like time-wise, like it's too much time. You spend so much of your time doing this thing. It can be hard to find time for self-care, right? But because that is a huge reason that we end up feeling unmotivated, it's like we feel overwhelmed, there's too much to do, too much is being asked of us. We have to just force ourselves to spend some time taking care of ourselves. So the way that I like to do this is every morning, for example, I practice some of the Arabic texts that I memorized last year. So like the Quran and the Mukhtasar. If like, for example, reciting dhikr is a way for you to take care of yourself, I mean, it's religiously rewardable, just like, you know, memorizing the Quran, whatever. Find time in your day, like 15 minutes even, to just focus your energy on that thing. If, you know, doing face masks is something that's, you know, you feel like you're taking care of yourself. I know I certainly feel that way, and I've been doing a lot of face masks lately to take care of myself. So find time to do face masks. If like, you know, lighting candles or burning incense or having essential oils burning in your room while you work, after you work, whatever is calming for you, do that to like keep you calm, keep you centered, and to make yourself feel like you are taking care of yourself and you're not just focusing all of your time on this, on like your schoolwork or your work. This point ties into something that one of you guys said on Instagram. One person said she gets herself one of her favorite drinks or foods almost every day, so like to keep her motivated. And that's a great way. Like if you have your favorite foods while you're working, or you know, you get a certain task done and then you reward yourself with food, that's a great way to get things done and to be motivated to finish something. Okay, if I just finish this thing, I can watch 15 minutes of my favorite show, or if I just finish this thing, I can eat my favorite cookie or drink my favorite drink. That's a great tip and part of taking care of yourself. Person also said a clean work area. Take some time to go out and walk, drive around and decompress. So like that's, again, all of that is taking care of yourself. Clean work area. If that's something that motivates you, looking around at your environment and it's aesthetically pleasing or it's really tidy, then do that. Make time in your day to tidy up your workspace and then get to work. Because if you're gonna feel distressed because everything is strewn all over the place, you're gonna be even less motivated than you may have already been. So make sure that your work area is clean if that's something that motivates you. Take breaks. Like this person said, take a walk. Another person said exercise. Like move your body, you know? If you're feeling unmotivated because you're getting tired, because you have so much work to do, get up and do like a 10-minute workout video on YouTube, or go for a walk around the block, or you know, go on a little bike ride. Do something to kind of get your blood pumping and then return to what you have to get done. Those are my tips for ways to stay motivated or get your motivation back. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found this video useful. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Make sure to also follow me on Instagram, and any updates about YouTube will also be on Instagram. Assalamu alaikum. Bye! So, just speaking of motivation, I just want to end this video with a little clip of the fall foliage. I work in this room and this is my view. And it's literally the most satisfying, amazing view. So definitely thankful to have this, and having a good view from your room is definitely a way to keep you motivated. Seeing beautiful things really helps you, or at least it helps me stay on task, happy to be where I am. So yeah, that's a possibility for you, I would definitely suggest. It's so beautiful out here.